Tug-of-war Man City could launch last-ditch transfer for Mark Guehi in blow to Liverpool if Pep Guardiola sells two defenders. Manchester City could suddenly beat Liverpool to Guehi. Manchester City could enter the race for Mark Guehi, but only if centre-backs Manuel Akanji and Nathan Ake are sold this week. The Crystal Palace defender, who has just 1 year left on his contract, is already being targeted by Liverpool, Tottenham, and Barcelona. Palace chairman Steve Parish has already said Guehi would be sold unless he was willing to sign a new contract at Selhurst. Sunsport has previously exclusively reported that Guehi was willing to run down his contract if he didn't get his preferred move. And now the Daily Star is reporting that City are considering the 25-year-old as a potential £35 million signing, should they lose both Akanji and Ake from Pep Guardiola's squad. Galatasaray are keen on 30-year-old Akanji, while Everton, who have already secured a loan deal for Jack Grealish, are interested in Ake. Should both players leave before the transfer window closes next Monday, interest in Guehi would intensify. That would put City on a collision course with Liverpool, who have long been leading the race for the Palace man. Guardiola is looking to trim his squad, and Guehi's pace and long-term potential make him an attractive option. The City boss was forced to leave both Ilkay Gundogan and Akanji out of his squad for their recent 2-0 loss to Tottenham. Guardiola explained his rotation policy, saying, "I had to leave Rodri and Phil Foden out last week because we have so many players. I must rotate. In the next games, others will be left out. It's not more serious than that." Guardiola also defended goalkeeper James Trafford, who made an error leading to the second Spurs goal. He said, "James played well in his first game last week, and I decided to stick with him. People often think early season decisions are the final ones, but it's about choosing for the moment. Today, I made that decision, and it is what it is." Guardiola acknowledged that his team missed some simple opportunities in the game, but praised their effort. The City boss said, "The running and commitment was extraordinary. We still have work to do after the win at Wolves. Everyone said everything was fine, but I said then we had more to improve, and it's the same now. We'll keep working, step by step, until things click. We've got a week to rest, and then it's Brighton before the international break." Manchester City have already strengthened their squad with the signings of Ryan Cherki from Lyon, adding creativity in attack, and Ryan Ait-Nouri from Wolves, bringing dynamism down the left. Yet, there remains a feeling at the Etihad that another central defender could be key. Mark Guehi's composure and leadership make him a perfect fit to strengthen Guardiola's defense. Thanks for watching. Stay for the next content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Arsenal send a €78 million offer for Rodrigo to Real Madrid. One of the names that has generated the most buzz in this transfer market is that of Rodrigo, the talented Brazilian winger currently playing for Real Madrid. Once considered an untouchable piece in the project, Rodrigo's importance within the squad has seemingly declined in recent months, largely due to the arrival of new stars, tactical adjustments, and the emergence of other attacking options. As a result, his future in the Spanish capital is now the subject of intense speculation. What has made this situation even more intriguing is the interest from Arsenal, who have been following the player for some time. According to reports from Defensa Central, the Premier League club have already submitted an official offer in the region of €78 million in a bid to secure his services. Arsenal, under Mikel Arteta, view Rodrigo as a player who can add not only depth, but also creativity and unpredictability to their attack. His pace, dribbling skills, and ability to play across the front line make him a valuable asset for a team aiming to challenge consistently for domestic and European titles. On the other hand, Real Madrid's stance is firm. The Spanish giants have placed a valuation of around €90 million on the Brazilian, making it clear that they will not let him leave for anything less. This price tag is not arbitrary. Rather, it is tied directly to the club's transfer strategy. Madrid are reportedly eyeing a high-profile midfielder, one that manager Xabi Alonso has specifically requested to reinforce the squad. The funds from a potential Rodrigo sale would play a key role in financing this acquisition. The situation is further complicated by the player's own perspective. Rodrigo has repeatedly expressed his love for Real Madrid, highlighting how much he values being part of one of the most prestigious clubs in the world. However, his reduced playing time and the feeling of being overshadowed by other stars could make him more open to a new challenge, especially in a competitive league like the Premier League. Arsenal, for their part, are believed to be ready to offer him a leading role in their sporting project, which might be an attractive proposition for the 23-year-old forward. In summary, the Rodrigo saga has all the ingredients of a summer soap opera. A top player whose role has diminished, a wealthy club eager to bring him in, a transfer fee that could unlock another major signing, and the uncertainty surrounding the player's decision. Whether Arsenal are willing to increase their bid to meet Madrid's demands remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: the coming weeks could be decisive in shaping the next chapter of Rodrigo's career. On the other hand, the player's circle has begun to show discontent. Rodrigo has seen his time on the pitch reduced, especially after the Club World Cup, opening the door for a departure if a suitable offer comes along. Arsenal have entered the race strongly. They have submitted a proposal of around €78 million, significantly below Real Madrid's request, but enough to show their seriousness. Real Madrid, for its part, does not rule out the possibility of considering this offer if it comes closer to their economic expectations. Meanwhile, Manchester City, who also seemed very interested, have stopped negotiations. The cooling of relations between the two parties indicates that there are currently no advanced negotiations between Manchester City and Real Madrid for Rodrigo. This development places Arsenal as the main protagonist, at least for the time being. If they can come close to that price, they could become the most likely destination for the winger during the remainder of the transfer window. Rodrigo's future seems uncertain, not for lack of interest or quality. At Real Madrid, Xabi Alonso is marking a new era that, for the moment, does not place the Brazilian as a central part. A final offer has yet to come in, but there are signs of movement. Arsenal are maneuvering cautiously in this transfer window. Manchester City have pulled out for the moment, and Real Madrid are watching. Moreover, according to sources close to the club, if an operation that matches their expectations emerges, they will not object to selling the player. The coming weeks will be crucial in clarifying Rodrigo's future. Arsenal will be looking to secure his signature, while Manchester City have, for the time being, withdrawn from the race. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Carlos Baleba signs as Ineos pull off £130 million miracle. Man Utd's dream final transfer week. Man United could produce a colossal final week of the summer transfer window if the dominoes fall right. Manchester United have done well to transform Ruben Amorim's attack so far this summer, splurging £208 million on Matheus Cunha, Brian Buemo, and Benjamin Sesko. However, following on, albeit encouraging, opening day defeat to Arsenal, supporters are craving reinforcements in goal and in midfield before the September 1st deadline. There is still plenty of business to complete at Old Trafford, with player sales taking center stage to trim Amorim's squad and generate funds for further arrivals. Time is running, though, and it would take an almighty effort to ensure total satisfaction on the other side of deadline day. But nothing's impossible. Express Sport runs through what United's dream final week of the window looks like. A late flurry of sales. United haven't completed a single sale yet this summer, perhaps unsurprisingly, given the disastrous 2024-25 season. Alejandro Garnacho, Antony, Jadon Sancho, and Tyrell Malacia are all expected to leave, having spent the entire summer away from Amorim's first-team picture. Rasmus Højlund is also in the shop window after being informed that minutes would be hard to come by after the signing of Sesko. United reportedly want £50 million for Garnacho, £30 million for Sancho and Højlund, and £20 million for Sancho. Ineos generating £130 million over the next week would be nothing short of a miracle, but it would open the door for a grandstand finale. Carlos Baleba's record arrival. United are believed to have informed Brighton and Hove Albion that they will not progress their interest in top midfield target Carlos Baleba. That's likely due to a not-for-sale stance, but history has taught that every Brighton player has a price. Should United raise over £100 million in transfer fees before the deadline, a late push for the 21-year-old midfielders shouldn't be ruled out. It feels unlikely that the Red Devils will pursue alternative targets this summer, which comes as a serious concern. Ruthless goalkeeper change. Simply put, United need to inform one of Andre Onana or Altai Bander that they are surplus to requirements and get them off the books. Royal Antwerp goalkeeper Sen Lammens enjoyed a sensational 24-25 campaign and is reportedly available for around £17 million. It would be a statement of intent to go out and sign the 23-year-old, ultimately forcing their inferior current options' hands. There is a ceiling on what United can achieve this season if they don't address their goalkeeper problem. Carlos Baleba, our midfield powerhouse who has stepped in to almost seamlessly replace Moises Caicedo, has been nothing short of a revelation since his arrival. We have watched his incredible rise with pride, but success inevitably attracts attention, and the transfer noise had been growing by the day. Until now, keeping Baleba felt like a distant dream. The tireless speculation suggested it was only a matter of time before a top club came calling with an irresistible bid. But the news that Brighton have categorically declared him not for sale is the perfect boost at the start of what promises to be a huge season. This is not just about keeping a player. It is a bold declaration of ambition. It proves we are determined to build on last season's progress rather than cash in and start again. Many Albion fans had braced themselves for the blow of losing Baleba, fearing what that could mean for our season. Instead, we can now shift the conversation towards what we could achieve with our anchor in place, and the possibilities feel exciting. Of course, any club looking to prize away one of our stars knows they will have to go toe-to-toe with Tony Bloom, one of the toughest negotiators in world football. Brighton's unwavering stance on Baleba is yet another reminder that if you try to play poker with Bloom, you will be the one folding first. Crucially, we have built a position of strength. Recent smart transfer business means we are not under financial pressure to sell, and the club's resolve is as strong as our squad. This summer's message is clear. Brighton and Hove Albion are not here to be rated. We are here to compete. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Man City finally launched Gianluigi Donnarumma transfer talks after Pep Guardiola hint. Gianluigi Donnarumma's future continues to hang in the balance with Manchester City among the clubs interested in bringing the Paris Saint-Germain star to England. Manchester City have opened talks with Paris Saint-Germain over a move for Gianluigi Donnarumma. Italy goalkeeper Donnarumma is tipped to leave Paris this summer following the arrival of Lucas Chevalier, with Pep Guardiola's side among the potential buyers. City have already signed one goalkeeper this summer, with James Trafford rejoining the club after a spell at Burnley. Stefan Ortega is expected to leave the Etihad Stadium, but last season's first-choice Ederson could also depart to make way for a Donnarumma swoop. Ederson was left out of City's squad for the Premier League opener at Wolves on Saturday, with Trafford starting and Ortega on the bench. Guardiola said the Brazilian missed out through illness, but reports of a Galatasaray switch are gathering pace. According to Football Italia, there is still work to be done on the Donnarumma fee. City are said to be unwilling to meet PSG's asking price of around £40 million, but the prospect of getting the keeper's high wages off the bill could convince the French club to lower their demands. Similarly, City are believed to be at odds with Galatasaray when it comes to the valuation of Ederson. The Turkish side value the Brazilian at £10 million or less, but the Premier League side are holding out for more despite him being in the final year of his contract. Donnarumma has been with PSG since 2021, when he joined on a free from AC Milan and helped the League One champions win last season's Champions League. He was left out of the recent Super Cup squad, though, with manager Luis Enrique explaining the situation. "I can only say good things about Gigio Donnarumma," the boss told reporters. "He's one of the best players in his position, without a doubt, and he's even better as a person, but we were looking for a different profile of goalkeeper." Guardiola declined to answer when asked on Saturday if Ederson had played his final game for the club. Instead, he attempted to focus on Trafford's performance after the 22-year-old made a long-awaited debut for the club. "I'm so happy for James. For the fact that he is an academy player and he is a City fan and made his debut in the Premier League here," Guardiola told BBC Radio 5 Live after the 4-0 win at Molineux. "He played really good, and I'm really pleased. I like when the young players in the academy can play for Man City. It's really, really good. These moments are special because they show that the hard work put in over the years by the player, his family, and the academy staff really pays off. It also sends a message to the rest of the youngsters in the system that opportunities are there if they stay focused and continue to improve." Meanwhile, transfer speculation continues to circle around Ederson's future at Manchester City. If Galatasaray do end up signing the Brazilian goalkeeper, it would see him reunited with former City winger Leroy Sane. The German international, who was a fan favorite during his time at the Etihad, joined Galatasaray on a free transfer from Bayern Munich earlier in the summer. Such a reunion would not only provide Sane with a familiar face in the dressing room, but also give Galatasaray a player in Ederson who brings world-class experience, composure, and leadership between the posts. For City, losing Ederson would be a significant change, given the vital role he has played in Pep Guardiola's system, especially with his distribution and calmness under pressure. However, the club's philosophy of renewal and trust in their structure suggests they would be ready with plans to adapt. For Galatasaray, it would mark another bold step in building a squad capable of competing not only in the Turkish Super League, but also in Europe. Thanks for watching. Stay for the next content. Don't forget to like and subscribe.